All right, using pologofit.com, obviously go to the website up here, pologofit.com, put your username and password in and get that from your department chair. Log in, and you'll pretty quickly get to the dashboard here. And on the dashboard, all the way up top here, you have all the different places you can get to. So dashboard is kind of the home base. You can see the courses down here. You could see some, if you play with this, you could view some charts and stuff like that. This is everybody in this class is kind of progress throughout. This is their last entry. But if we go back to dashboard, we could also get there by going to courses. Okay, and so if I want to create a course, this is where I'm going to do it at. And so you see I have some courses created right here already. But if I want to create one, I would go here. And I would put a course name, and I'm just going to put a test or example, a test example. And a start date. Start date is obviously can't be more than what it is, but the end date is the most important. You definitely want to put it past when the class is over, because if you do it like during finals and you want to use a heart rate monitor during finals, you won't be able to gather any data. You can, after the class is out though, always go back and see the data from that class. So the date for me for right now, I would always go to January, and I would probably go to the 25th, a week after finals or so. Now I can do evaluation type, and there's some advanced is you kind of can name it what you want. I haven't played with all these, but letters is a letter grade, A, B, C, D, F. Letters fractionalized, A plus, B plus, B minus, that kind of thing. Numbers is more of a rubric, more rubrics. Olympic medals would give a bronze, silver, and gold. And then a pass fail would means either they did the task you asked, or they didn't. Okay. Whenever you set up your course, you definitely want to go heart rate course. All right. Activity courses for activity monitors, we don't have that. And I've been using performance. It's the hardest one to get. You might choose heart healthy 79, but I want to reward a kid that gets 100%. I don't want to like not count it. That's why I've been choosing this. If they're 100% of the max, it should count for them. So that's what I've been using. You can set the time and zone. This is changeable when you get into the app, but right now I'm going 20 minutes. Our classes are 48 minutes. When you really get to it, to get 20 minutes is kind of the goal right now. I choose no to show calories right now because for the calories to be accurate, you have to put their height and weight in. And when I import all the information, I just use a standard height and weight just kind of to get it in there so we can get all the names in. And then I always choose to go with student name to show and not student ID so I can see it. The next step would be to add students, and I'm going to click on this. You're going to see it's going to start. Oh, it didn't do it. Oh, evaluation type is required. So I'm just going to go basic. Then I'm going to come down here and go to add students, and it's going to start scrolling. This takes a few minutes, so I'm going to pause this and come back when it comes up so you can see it. All right, we're back. It took about 3 minutes, but we see we got some classes here, and period 1 class has got 1,700 students. What I've done for all the schools is I've just made one class with all the students because it's much easier to kind of sort through. If we went by period, if a kid switched to period, it'd be hard to find them. So all I have to do is click on the down arrow, and all of the students come. Here's their last name and so on. And then I would just take my class list and I would go, okay, Kathleen is in my class, Matt's in my class, and so on in my class. And then I go all the way down to the bottom, and I would hit finish here. And when I get back now, I get down here, I can see the students in my class. I added those 3. Okay. The next step would be to assign sensors then. So if you have sensors, like if I wanted to go alphabetical and it didn't, the first thing, and it didn't for me, so the first thing I did, I unassigned them. And then I go back, and you'll see, and you'll have all your sensors will be assigned. It would be 1 through 44. I've got a few more in here. But if I want Kathleen to have number 1, and I want William to have number 3, and Matt to have number 2, I would just do that, and then I would hit save, and we're there. So now we have this course information. You notice that the teacher is always going to be your department chair because we only have 1 site license, so don't get concerned about that. But here we have it all done. We would hit save. I'm not going to say this because it's kind of example class, but I'm going to go back to course list. Okay, it did save, but that's okay. I want to show you maybe a few other things that, just in case a student's name is not there, there's a few things here that you could do. For example, if you go to school and you need to create a new student, you would do here, I would put first name, last name. Now notice date of birth is day first, and it has to be in this format, so the 21st period month 3 period 1999. Okay, now that's important because this is a Finnish company, and this is a kind of a European standard. If you did it or do it wrong, it won't come up, so remember that. I put the same height and weight for everybody, like 54 inches on 30 pounds. put their gender in. Student ID is very important because it's how we generate their passwords and username, and we don't do anything down here with the user sensor. I would hit save when I'm done. I've added them, and then I would go back to my course and say I want to go back to this class and I wanted to add students. I would edit the course, come back down here and say I'd hit list and I would add students again, and then that 3 minutes would take, and then I would put that student in. Okay, so I can go back to the course list. I want to show you some of the things that you can see in here. So this is actually a cross-country workout that we did the other day. You can see the students here. But if I click on the student, I can actually get their graph to come up. So you see a lot of these here where they went to 0. We were on the track, and it wasn't a great workout for them because they kind of kept going far. I wasn't in a good spot. But I could print this. So I just go to print heart rate summary, and we get a good printable document here when it comes up. It shouldn't take that long, but I'm just going to go back. There it is, comes back up. So that's something you could print to send home. I'm going to show you maybe a better one. Let's go back to courses. Let's go to my class this morning. This student did a good job. I'm going to go to Dan Corrett. You can see we were playing Speedway this morning, and he had a really good workout. Now I can't find him. Daniel. Oh, anyway. Here he is. Here was his workout this morning. We go here. Notice he earned 2 badges. That's a 10-minute for this badge, 10-minute for this badge. It shows me how much of the time was in the zone. 58% of the time he was in the zone. You can set the zone for, this was 90 to 100%, 80. You can change these once you play around a little bit. But here was his heart rate. This was our warm-up. We did a big push-up max out kind of today, and then we went out to the track, and we kind of lost him on the walk out. But once we started playing Speedway, you see his heart rate go up, and it stayed up. And then here I lost him a few times when he was out playing, but for the most part, we got a really good good workout. Now, that's pretty much it for this side, but I want to show you how a student would log in here, and I'm going to pause this so we can get to that. Alright, so we have a student side to this too, and so see I put in the username Glenbard North / and the student's ID number. I just email this to the kids. I'll show you how to do that, how to generate this list later. But then their password is generated, and they can put this in. And so this student can then log into their own site. And this is her site. This is Susie, one of my track kids, and she can see this workout. This is the one day that we did for a cross-country workout to kind of test this. She can view her chart and all of her information. There's a few workouts in here on the same day because we were kind of really playing with it. But she can view this, and she can also see the lesson summaries, which is a good example of her heart rate. And you can see that we lost her a few times, but her heart rate was really high. She had 113 for this mile sub-max test. She has a high heart rate anyway. But it's good information for them to kind of see. But she could print this, but every workout that you do, once you enter it into the iPad, they can come in and look at it at any time once it's done. So that is that. The last thing I want to show you is these student lists up here. It's under courses when you're doing this. I could print a student list. So it's going to generate the student list. It's going to have their name, their ID, and then what sensor has been assigned to them. It's really convenient to print out and leave by it so they know. I put their line number on it, but it doesn't always work that way. One thing I did find when you do go to print it the first time, make sure you put fit to screen, otherwise it goes on 2 pages and it's not a very good format. I would also do a save as with this as a PDF so you can email this to your class. And then the other that I want to show you is this print password list. Now, do not hit this unless you're ready to do the passwords. But here's the problem, and you're going to see this. Password is already assigned previously. This will only print one time. So the first mistake I made when I did this was I printed it, but I didn't print it fit to sale. So it was on 2 pages. I had to do some doctoring a little bit. And then I didn't save it as a PDF, and then I couldn't email these passwords to my kids, so we had to retype them all. So if you do add a student to the class, like I say, I added Lisa Lubin, and I printed it again. She would come up with a password, and all these other would say password previously assigned. So that only happens one time. So when you do that, make sure you're very careful with that. All right. I hope that helps. Please play with this a little bit. It's pretty good, pretty powerful software. All right. Thanks.